I took a puppy. I guess. Hers has got a new Halloween themed collar that has a cute little orange bow on it. And
Nice.
yeah, man, I kind of decided this year we were going to do 2 months of Halloween.
I think everyone's decided that, man.
Really?
Yeah. My
Okay, so we're not alone.
no, my
Nice.
girlfriend's sister has already put out Halloween decorations in
Yep.
her lawn.
No, we only put out one thing outside, and it's the little sign on our mailbox. But keep going.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear my spooky season shirt now. I mean, so most of my shirts are spooky anyway. So metal shirts are not sometimes the.
Well, look. I really appreciate Cannibal Corpse, their musical contributions and their artistic contributions. But you're right, it's not for everyone. Oh man, good morning everyone. Welcome to the Daily Cup of Genre. It is the show where we get to talk about whatever the hell we want because, well, we are the hosts of it, and that is myself, Kyle Malone, the other guy, Manny Gomez, and we are sponsored by the good people over at Grow Generation, where the pros get to grow. Manny, what's up, bud?
It's Friday, man. I'm done with this week.
I know.
I'm like, just yeah. So
I got this show, and I got to get the Cantina up after seeing Shang-Chi later on today. I'm excited about that one, man. I am. It's getting pretty, positive reviews, and I'm. You have me hopeful for the martial arts because I know that you're a fan. I know you have certain expectations and standards, and you said this actually exceeded what you expected from it. Do you kind of want to, kind of just spruce people up on your feelings on Shang-Chi before they head out to see it today or this weekend?
Yeah, so what I liked about Shang-Chi is that it's really a standalone movie. It's not doesn't need anything else from the Marvel Cinematic Universe to really stand on its own. I thought that the characters were very well portrayed, and this is 100% more of a family story than anything else. I don't want to kind of give away what we're going to be dealing with as far as the family going back and forth,
right?
But regardless, if you saw my interview with Fala Chen, who plays his mom, you'll see that we're talking about it has strong because culturally it's kind of known that they have very, very strong values. It focuses a lot on that, making sure that despite of what your ancestors have done in the past, right or wrong, or sometimes both, that is still part of you, and you can take that and build upon it however way you want, and that's something that Shang-Chi has to deal with because of the fact that he despises what his father's done for so long, and how he embraces that and how he comes through with that. I do have some issues with the movie, but they're not big issues. There was a couple of transitions where I felt like they were a little too fast, and people's motivations changed too quickly, and it just takes me out for a few minutes, and it wasn't that bad. There was one moment, but it's in the beginning, where the CGI was really bad.
You said that.
That was it. We were in the theater, my buddy and I, and it happened, and then we looked at each other. I was like, "Oh no!" And please don't be this way. And luckily, it was the only moment where it was really noticeable. So yeah, it's just good. Is it a brilliant A+ movie, or even an A? I don't think so. No, I give it's a solid B.
Okay.
There's one character I don't really want to talk about because it's kind of a surprise, that I feel like, yes, it's fun, but at the same time it feels a little unnecessary, but they use him to move the plot along just a little bit, but it was really random compared to the rest of the story. Uh, like I said, just like it's a solid movie. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I'm gonna go watch it again. And that's not something that I can say about like Black Widow, for example.
Right. Yeah, I get that. Not everyone's gonna. I didn't realize I could make us so much. Look, can I? I can't change the top and bottom. Anyways, it's good. Dude, that's great to hear. Like, I really like the way you're setting the expectation, because often in these films you get the reactions of, oh my god, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I'm like, could have just sliced the bread yourself, right? No. I I like that you're like, look, this is a Marvel movie. That means you should be able to go in and come out and enjoy what you saw. There's some strengths, some weaknesses. Dude,
There,
all of that makes it sound like it's a good day,
yeah. What I appreciated about the martial arts, because I know you talked about it, and it's something that we had talked about, is that they have a variety of martial arts in it, and a
Mm.
variety of a film martial arts. Like the movie where it starts off kind of talking about the past,
Hmm.
with Fa La Chen and Tony Leung Chihuahua, who obviously play Lei Wu and his mom, and then Mandarin, his dad.
Hmm.
Uh, they um, they start with a kind of a like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon type of martial arts,
Fitting,
but
considering some of the cast, right?
right, and but it obviously, because they're telling a story in the past, it's
Right.
very artistic, so it fits very very well. And then there's a scene that you see in the trailer, where Awkwafina as Catty cat is as cat is
Uh-oh.
driving the bus.
There you go.
And that's a whole lot more Jackie Chan
Mm.
style.
I see what you mean by Hollywood styles. Now,
Yeah,
that's what I was kind of wondering, because I got those feels from the trailer. It's very very obvious with the mother scene that there's your Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon style influence scene, or at least one that is visible in the trailer. It looked like the scaffolding was going to combine either elements of Jackie Chan, or like a Jet Li style, a Bruce Lee, Jet Li, more
so
serious
yeah, so
action,
that's what I
and
would say, that the scaffolding scene has more of a little bit more of a Jet Li feel.
yeah, and then
So it feels like an
go ahead.
homage. Oh, my bad. Yeah, it feels like an homage to a whole lot of different styles of martial arts and
That's
theater,
awesome. I like that.
and so you get droplets of it here and there. It was done, and I think really what I appreciated the most out of it is when you have a film where one of the main characters, and eventually the main character, has a power like the 10 rings. How do you use them, and how do you not overpower them, so that fighting styles can come through, and they do that really really well, especially, and it's in marketing, so I can mention it, especially when both Shang-Chi and his father are fighting with them,
Right.
and you kind of see the change in colors in them and things like
Hmm.
that. um it's done really really well, I think. And I think i'm I'm not Asian, obviously, so I can't talk like how much
Hmm.
it 100% represents Asian culture, but I think that it's a good it's a good solid representation from my point of view. I mean,
Of at least what
um,
they're showing.
right? Nothing seems very like stereotypical or very
Does
um.
anything feel nationalistic for any particular Asian country?
I mean, obviously China, yes.
That was my curiosity, because, like
Mhm.
you said, neither of us are Asian, but all we can go off, of course, is friends, family. I've got an uncle that married a Korean during the conflict in the 50s, and so I grew up with some family by marriage, but we do know that there's a little bit more factioning between some of the more larger populations in the United States, to Japan, Korea, China, given the histories of their home nations and ancestral nations. So that's what I was kind of curious about, was how much do they lean into China, not just Chinese culture legacy, but China. That's my curiosity.
You say China like Donald Trump, bro.
Well, I'm making an influence on the nation versus the culture and the people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's just a good joke.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Um,
I'd make a joke, but I don't want to get canceled yet.
So I think, I personally think that Awkwafina was a great compliment to Simu Liu's character. So Kathy and Shang-Chi together, they're like, it's not always that you get to see like BFFs that are guys and girls in films
without
usually.
there being some will they, won't they, or
yeah, and I think in this case they're just, I don't know if they do or not, and I'm not gonna spoil it, and but overall I thought it was done,
whatever it is, it's good.
It's just really cool. It's just cool, and I love her on it's Comedy Central. What her character's named, Nora, I forgot the name of the show. It's fun. I know that I read the internet and I see people are getting mad at her for supposedly the way she talks, supposedly like, I don't know what do they call it exactly. I'm not going to get into it.
I keep there's an acronym with like two A's, a V and an E, and I always forget where it's like an African American vernacular English, or English vernacular is like the I guess the I don't want to say grammatically correct, but the like etymological right term, whatever that one.
Okay,
it's like AAEV or VVE. I can't recall.
So anyway, I
have the internet in front of me. Go ahead.
No, we'll leave it alone because we should. What I say about why I roll my eyes at that is Jamie Kennedy made millions off of doing that, and he's not, he's at least Awkwafina is from, I think, Brooklyn or something like that, Queens, I think.
They're gonna go after Eminem next. I mean,
and then Jamie Kennedy did it for years. Who else is the other one that I had him? John Cena had a character for a long time that did
that was his shtick.
I just feel that to go after somebody for that particular reason is really stupid, because it's done so often and so readily that nitpicking about it is, it's just really dumb. It's people are so quickly to try and cause a stir and be on the right side of something, when in fact you're just on the stupid side of it. That I just, anyway, roll my eyes. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is she's great in the film.
Yeah, dude. No, I get it. It's while times change and things like that, there's certain things that you're kind of like, well, wait a second. There's more to it than necessarily the particular draw or accent on certain sounds and certain word usages. Like, yeah, man, it's yeah.
And the last thing I'll say, just to help people out, because even my daughter asks me all the time before we get up, there are two scenes,
a mid and an end.
And an end.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about them next week.
Okay.
Sometime.
We'll definitely do that for sure.
Because one of them. Anyway, no, let's stop there. I'm not gonna listen to it.
Well, it is a good place to stop and kind of talk about what else. I brought a particular article on screen, not just because it's got images of Simu Liu's Shang-Chi character, but it's from comicbook.com. Feige talking about potential sequels, and he says, and this is for the audio audience. If you're listening on your favorite podcast app, please do follow. If you haven't checked us out on YouTube, do that. Subscribe, and if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you. Excuse me. So he says, I'm always confident and nervous in equal proportions. This is Feige, by the way. The early reactions to who the characters and to Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings itself gives me great hope that people will want to see more of these characters. Feige says, we certainly have many ideas of where to take them and where to put them. And exactly as you say, what's so fun? We know the movie's working when it's not just the title character that people ask about, but it is the co-stars or supporting players that people ask about. In this movie in particular, that's heartening because we think they're spectacular, and we think they have great potential in the future. What do you think about the idea of a Shang-Chi sequel? Do you see the movie easily leading into something still centered on him, his world, and supporting cast?
I'm going to choose not to answer that question.
Okay.
Smile.
Well, I mean, anyone can actually set something up. I was just curious if you felt that these characters could continue on in a meaningful way in their own franchise. Personally,
absolutely, yes. I'll
Okay.
just say that. But other than that, I don't want to talk about
it. That's all. That's all I wanted. I didn't. I wasn't looking for setups.
But yeah, no, yes, absolutely. I would love to see both Shang-Chi and Caddy all back. Yeah, I love them together. They're great. They just have really good chemistry with one another, and I personally have always found Awkwafina super funny. So, and then also Mengher Zhang, I think that's how you pronounce his name. I apologize if Jesus, I'm sorry if I'm ruining your name. She plays Shang-Chi's sister. She's pretty freaking dope too.
Cool.
Yeah, and we get a Razor Fist in this film too, so that's kind of fun.
Yeah, it looks so weird in the trailer. I'm hoping that it seems a little, because it's that one actiony shot, so of course it's gonna kind of look off out of a bigger picture. But yeah, I'll have to see it here in like 2 hours and change. Man, geez, holy crap! It's like time to take a word from our sponsors over at Grow Generation. Take it away, guys. Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. Grow Generation offers the best deals and discounts on the best grow products on the market. Grow Generation serves customers across the nation and carries a wide inventory of renowned cultivation brands. Go to www.growgeneration.com, where the pros go to grow. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring the show, Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. Please do check them out. Yeah, Manny, there's been some horror movie stuff. We like horror movie stuff.
Love
we have a Friday Frights segment. We got to talk a bit about it last week with Candyman. I know you have mentioned Malignant a couple of times, this week. Would you like to chit chat about some Malignant for Friday Frights for shits and giggles, and anything else scary?
Well, yeah, Malignant comes from the mind of one of the greats in horror right now. Last Friday, we obviously talked a little bit more about Jordan Peele and what he's done for horror. And then Jordan Blum also, and one of the names we brought up, of course,
Jason
Blum. Thank you. And one of the other names we talked about is
Wan.
Yeah, James Wan, because of his contributions with the Conjuring universe, basically, and then deciding he wanted to make another film with the same actor to confuse us all with Insidious, that franchise. And so now he's going to be pushing the envelope with a new film called Malignant, which is going to be, of course, standing on its own. But if you just watch this, if you haven't watched this trailer, we have it up on our site. We have it up on our LRM clip site.
And it's on our YouTube video of this right now.
That's yeah. So that's what I meant. That's what I was saying. But his use of sound and varying tone and really focusing on particular scares, he does such a good job at it, and just setting it all up with storytelling. It's no wonder that he's been so successful. I still can't get some of that one song from Insidious out of my head sometimes, and it is just the worst thing ever. But I love what he says, because he's always talking about trying to push the envelope in horror and trying to do something different, because he obviously, we talk about it, that horror sometimes is like a roller coaster ride, where it's the same type of track, it's the same car, but sometimes just the way it's laid out makes the ride so much better, and then you don't mind riding it again and again and again. And that's sometimes how I feel about some horror films, where it's slasher film's going to be a slasher film, and you pretty much know what you're getting. And from what he says, he tries to push the envelope and do something a little different. I know how uncomfortable some things make me in Insidious. I know how uncomfortable a lot of the scenes made me in The Conjuring 2. And then by the time The Conjuring 3 came around, I was so invested already that I enjoyed kind of that almost horror hug that they gave us with that story. And I mean, just some of the things that go on here, like the scene where she's in with the detectives, and they get a phone call, and it's like, yeah, that's him. I was like, what the hell? I was like, that is a little different. And then always scenes like this, that they're always, because you don't see what the danger is, you just know it's there. And so just kind of appreciate it. And then just the fact that we're going to be able to see it either in theaters or on HBO Max is nice, because I don't know if I can watch this movie in the theaters. I love horror movies. I'm not the biggest fan of horror on screen.
Chicken shit.
And I do not go to haunted houses. That's another thing.
Oh, I love my haunted houses, man. I had hoped that this year, but with the pandemic situation, my son having to transition back into school full time for the first time since March of 2020. It wasn't the year for me to go down and try to apply or volunteer for like part-time gig at the local theme park. We have a Busch Gardens nearby, and
nice.
I've always wanted, because I've done a few haunted houses with the military and MWR, kind of like our rec center group for both the families and the soldiers, but or not group, organization. So I've done them. I've helped create or organize and act in haunts, and I've always wanted to do it on a bigger production. So I'm hoping next year we get to do it. So my son Lucas, he probably doesn't remember, because he's only 7, but his very very first haunt was the like propane powered antique car rides. They're on a little rail, and but there's another park not too far that turns their antique car ride into a haunted ride. So there's some animatronics, some actors, but it's mostly sounds and scenes. And he did that and actually enjoyed it. Did a walkthrough. Brave kid, man. Proud of him for that. Too many so fucking scared of bugs. It's insane. But hey, I have that weird thing about gray aliens, and that's like true like scarring, like real bad. Anyways, carry on.
Yeah, my daughter likes haunted houses, so and my girlfriend is a big aficionado for anything horror, so she has to deal with me just saying nope.
I like that, Christine, for the most part. There's certain certain acts, certainly she won't watch I Spit on Your Grave. So if anyone knows that movie, or Day of the Woman, I think was the other title back in the 70s. Anyways, if you know what I Spit on Your Grave is, that type of stuff is about the only thing that she really is not willing to watch. So I'm lucky on that. You know, I had to get her into zombies. She used to be really afraid of zombies and grossed out by them, not necessarily afraid. Do you have something that's like not necessarily scares you, but grosses you out, like makes you physically ill to see or hear?
Yeah, body manipulation.
Body
horror.
Body horror. Okay.
Yeah, specifically one that really, like, seriously, this is not really a joke. It is. I mean, you could laugh, whatever, but I'm telling you that it really did affect me. That's what I'm trying to convey. There's a scene in Saw 2 where they have somebody on a machine, where they're twisting his limbs, and yeah, the sounds of the bones breaking was very, yeah, it very, yeah, it that screwed me up for a minute, and I still, but the funny thing is I still watch the next Saw movies. Like it just, but that one, I think so. I guess bones breaking is really what it comes down to.
Okay.
And then stabbing or whatever, guts, whatever. And then the other thing, yes, nails being chipped off or ripped off. That's the other one. There was this one scene in an exorcism movie that I covered. I can't remember what it's called. And when the possessed a girl, she grabs onto her chair and she pushes down, her nails break.
Oof.
Oh, dude, I think
I've seen that scene. Yeah.
I had to stop the movie for a second. And then the last thing that really made me uncomfortable, like super uncomfortable, believe it or not, was Dr. Death on Peacock.
Oh,
on Peacock. So and that was,
I heard that there's been a few medical shows that have kind of pushed the boundaries. Carry on.
And it's the I think it's the fact that it's so realistic as far as like this is happening in real life, where somebody's like malpracticing on somebody. I had to take 2 breaks in watching that, where I was like, yep, I need to stop. It had nothing to do with horror, right? And it was enough for me. I was like,
I don't have anything that grosses me out upright. I got my legit like fears, but I can't outside of like maybe something bad happening to kids. Of course I don't usually like that if it's too realistic. If it's overly supernatural, I'm okay. If they're mutated monsters, if they're possessed, if they're 5,000-year-old demon, I can cope. But if it's too realistic, yeah, that I don't like. Being a human, let alone being a dad. Yeah, but the thing I kind of like about this is when I saw it, I was kind of like, because the whole idea of the friend, imaginary friend, I was like, it reminded me of what's the one with Freddie, Drop Dead Fred, right? Yeah. And she had the imaginary friend and meds that kept them away for years. And she gets off them, comes back. It was like, oh, are they going to do some sort of weird sick twist on that? And no, it's just the weird sick twist on the idea of imaginary friends not being so imaginary. It's really cool to like. It's really cool to see horrors so well received these days. We talked about Candyman, last week, and seeing how beloved names like James Wan and Jason Blum and others. We mentioned Eli Roth and of course you go back to your Cravens and your Carpenter and it's just it's so cool to see how it's evolved over time, and how back in the days of like Hitchcock horror, it's all about, you know, mood and suspense and the building of it and playing with technology. Like, I don't know if people understand what Hitchcock did for filmmaking, not just for his particular, you know, thrills and chills. But to go from there, get into like the gory phase of the 70s and the exploitation films, and to move into the 80s for the heyday of slashers and the body counts, and getting into today, where literally horror is this umbrella almost with as many subgenres of its own as Hollywood has of primary genres. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's my favorite time of year, getting into the end of summer, getting into the fall, because I mentioned, you know, we're doing 2 months of Halloween. I got some little bat LED lights I'm going to be putting up in here, and then for next week. And I'm stoked about getting into some of my favorite Halloween movies and seeing some fresh new horror films. What is your kind of like Halloween ritual, man, for the season? What is your like movie that you watch every year, or thing that you do besides trick or treat or party?
Well, I only get Emma every other year, so we trick or treat every other year.
Okay.
I think for me, the films that I must watch, obviously The Nightmare Before Christmas happens the day after, just because you know it kind of feels better because you know, you're in between seasons. Hocus Pocus is a big one. You got to watch Hocus Pocus, and The Conjuring's another one, followed by also what else do I watch? I can't even think, but The Conjuring is a huge one. I'll tell you that right now. And for whatever reason, I don't know why I gravitate to this film. It's like I don't even feel like it's that good, but the Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
the remake with Jessica Biel, it's actually pretty decent as far as
maybe it is.
As a horror movie and on its own, not as a legacy of the original. I think it does real well on its own.
And Jeepers Creepers,
that's a good one too. Yeah,
the Jeepers Creepers 2 has one of the most disturbing scenes.
That's the one with them on the bus, or was that the first one?
Yeah,
no, that was the second one.
That's the second one.
Yeah,
when they're on that bus and he's like picking them out, dude. Oh my god, it's absolute.
So you don't like claustrophobic settings, Manny?
I don't like seeing a demon thing pick people out and licking windows and stuff. That just, I don't know, man. But yeah, it's uncomfortable. Obviously, all the candy's great, and yeah, what did I dress up as last year? Oh, I dressed up as Jughead's dad from what's that show
Archie
called? Riverdale.
Riverdale.
Yeah, I had a well actually for a while that was my oh, it might still be, I don't know, my picture for the Daily COG
with the drink.
Yeah, because I had, if you look at my wrist, I had a South Serpent tattoo on my wrist, and I also had the jacket, the South Serpent jacket.
I never watched the show. I got into Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which is in universe, but that's it. So I just thought
I
that
really
was you hanging out.
That show up and down, just full of beautiful people in general, even the parents and everything. I'm like, God damn it, this is so CW. But it fits. Riverdale fits. Like that Archie world fits for the CW, which is why I guess it works. So
I'm down with it. It's for us, Halloween's a big deal because I make it a big deal. It was always huge in my house, in the Malone's house when I was young, and my wife, however, was quite the opposite, because she her family's a little bit more traditional in their religion, and so yeah, she didn't get to partake in as much. So she never saw Hocus Pocus until last year. I
I'm
know
in the same boat with her.
Yeah, you both were treated like no, I'm joking. Families are different. I mean, within reason, as long as someone's not being hurt, it's not necessarily right, wrong, good, but it's different. So I am happy that she was open to being exposed to all that. Exposing myself to my wife. No,
You dirty
exposed.
rat.
I know, no, right? How dare I have intimacy? No, I like getting to show her these movies, like things that I experienced and love and watch with friends or other soldiers. It's so cool. We went on this like spree of watching classics that she hadn't seen. Like she never saw what is it called? Not interview with Dracula. She never saw Bram Stoker's Dracula. It was like crazy. So I had to show her that. I had to show her Critters. She'd never seen Critters. Still haven't gotten her to watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space yet.
Oh, it's so good, man.
I know, right? I
Yeah.
love it.
So like it's just so good.
Yeah. My our big thing has been with Lucas. We like doing group costumes. This year we're not 100% sure what he wants to do, or if he wants to kind of do something on his own. But Halloween is just, dude, it's life for me, and being able to share it with my wife in a really unique way, because here we are as adults with, we're not made of money, but we've got a little bit of disposable income, and we get to decorate and watch these movies. And now we have all these streaming services with not just classics but a lot of foreign horror films, which of course I've exposure to a few of key Asian horror films, Italian horror films. But I'll tell you what, dude, I'm excited to see what else comes out of Netflix's draw with South and Central America Spanish speaking. I'm really curious to see more horror out of there, as well as Spain proper, even based on some South and Central American Hispanic and even indigenous myths and legacies, legends and shit like that. Not necessarily a cursed Mayan artifact or Aztec warriors haunting the myths, the legends that they told each other for centuries and whatnot. I would like to see some cool stuff like that.
Latin culture is so, it's not even just that it's underrepresented. Is that like kind of like you're mentioning? There's so much there, man.
Yeah.
That once somebody figures this out,
Dibs.
It's amazing to me that, like, in the last years, the only stories you can tell are like Apocalypto or some bullshit like that, where it's like the same El Dorado, and it's like there's so much more than that.
Not that those are bad, but yeah, there's more.
Well, they're bad when they're directed by Mel Gibson. Like,
what? No, you said I don't know why. Well, you said El Dorado. I don't know why I heard Desperado in my brain. Carry on. Ignore me. Yeah, ignore me. I said I'm brain dead here. Carry on.
Yeah, no, it's so I want to see it. Right now, Emma and I, our favorite tradition is we go down to our local store that's been zombified into a spirit, and dude, we spend hours there trying to figure out what we're gonna be. And sometimes, and the thing is, it's not a one-time trip either. The first time is to assess the situation and make a decision on, we feel like this costume, maybe we thought about this one, what about this makeup effect, why don't we try doing something like this, hey, this is pretty cool. And then we take a week or so to marinate on it, and we go back, and sometimes we end up with a whole other idea and everything. So it just makes it it makes it so much fun because it's just fun. We do, and then I don't. Hopefully, I'll be in a house very soon where we can decorate and everything, and that's gonna be a whole other show right there. The running joke that Emma and I have. Well, it's a funny joke that we saw on the internet. Is always is like, "Yep, time to confuse the spiders," and Emma was
Oh
like,
God.
"Yes." Because and then she goes, yes, because we're gonna clean the cobwebs just to put fake ones up. and
Indeed. Indeed.
then the spiders are like, what the fuck, dude? That's my house. Are you gonna put fake ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I'm super stoked, super excited. I miss doing bigger projects with, like I said, the military and stuff like that. Like, here, I'll share a little bit. Like, this is from in Germany. This was setting up like a sick call, the clinic where soldiers get treated at, and I use fake blood and messing with people. There's like torture scenes, and I miss setting things up like that. So, but I'm excited because I've got that opportunity. I got that opportunity to do the bigger deal. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
The one at like Busch Gardens. So I'm excited
I,
about that.
I will say that I am gonna head down to Fright Fest over at Six Flags at some point because we have season passes. So
I miss Knott's Berry's Halloween event. I really do. I got a chance to do it when I was really young several times, multiple times, and then when I was older just a couple of times. That I haven't done it in over a decade, and they always had
old ass
a
dude.
lot of really fun stuff there. What's that?
Nothing. No, I
What?
said old ass dude,
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, but you're only a couple of years younger than me. Well, 4.
but younger nonetheless.
almost almost 4. One last thing I want to kind of talk about, and it's because I have not actually watched this yet, and that's the Wheel of Time trailer. Cam is a huge fan of the Wheel of Time, and
Freaking nerd.
I know, right? And fantasy properties in general. I like fantasy enough, but it's not like my go-to. Does that make sense? It's okay. I'm down with it, but I would rather watch something else. Uh so I'm kind of interested in what I will think of it, because he specifically said that I should like this. This is more my alley of the fantasy projects that I do like. What do you what do you like about fantasy? Do you dig anything outside of Lord of the Rings? Do you hate Lord of the Rings? I mean, what's up?
Please don't say I hate Lord of the Rings. That
I'm
that is
asking. I
that is
didn't say
almost like
you did.
religion.
I
Okay.
asked.
Jesus Christ. Gosh, Kyle.
Awful. Fuck you.
Middle Earth, man, is my shit, bro.
Okay,
Like,
good for you.
and then
Oh, let's hear
we are slowly becoming a Potter house because my daughter
it.
is
Ooh.
obsessed with Harry Potter. Um, so yeah, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. That's really, I think, where we're at.
So you like
Yeah.
you like it enough pop stuff. Have you seen this trailer yet for Wheel of Time?
Nope, because I don't
Okay,
know the first thing about Wheel of Time, so it's always been like, I'll get to it, I'll get to it, I'll get to it,
there you go. So
and I don't get to it.
let's do a quick trailer reaction to ladies and gentlemen from Amazon Prime, the Wheel of Time series. There's also a movie in the works, I heard. So the whole idea Cam told me is it's kind of cyclic as far as like the events, and so they get a lot of leeway with the characters that we see from the books, because it could be just another cycle. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was like, hey, those are the writers from Lord of the Rings.
Let's see here.
It's funny how like everything we're talking about is like, well, Cam said that.
Yeah, well, him and Jammer are both big fantasy fans as far as like actually Yeah,
Actually reading
they're
the
talking
things
about
that
the
are made
cycle.
out of
He's read the
paper.
books and stuff. Yeah, yeah. Let's see here.
They read these on scrolls. Is that what they do?
Yeah, I think there's scrolls rolled out, parchment papers. I'll say this: it looks really pretty.
Yeah, it does. See, the problem sometimes with things like this is because of the context. Maybe I expect something that's not going to be there.
Right.
And that might turn me off for the wrong reason, you know?
Because apparently this is set on Earth, an Earth that continues to have, tectonic plate shifts and whatnot. So the lands are not always the same, but and like I said, it's kind of like a cyclic thing. There's like I think he said three ages, and they just keep rotating and rotating, and you might have an era where it's very very similar to us, and we're very science based until we blow ourselves up. He said even in the book there's some imagery that makes it seem like Cold War led to World War III. Oh, is this something? Hold on. Oh, okay, here you go. I stopped it too early, Manny. If you want to.
Stopped it too
Oh
early?
nope, never mind. It was for the boys. I thought it was going to be like a stinger at the end of the thing.
Oh.
So he said there's like some imagery for that, and so it's kind of interesting. It looked pretty. I kind of like the idea of you're playing with a cycle versus a linear timeline. So the things that you could do with that are interesting, and the fact that Cam, being a stickler for canon, a stickler for source material, the fact that he even is like said that no one he knows seems to be upset with some of the liberty, and I don't know what liberties might be being taken. He said because of the way the series is that this has a lot of freedom. So what'd you think, man? You gonna check it out?
I'm gonna be real honest with you, probably not.
I will. I'll say it because of this. I've been dying for something different, right? Something new, deep cuts. This is giving us more Lord of the Rings. Everyone's got a feeling that we're going to get a Harry Potter series eventually. I sure as hell they plan it right to hire a kid at 11 years old and let them go for 7 years, but without aging too much. But um, it's different. I've never read the books. I've always known they exist because whenever you talk fantasy, it's like the War and Peace of single novels because of how long it is, and I think Camps it's like in the teens of books, over a dozen books, and that's why I'm interested in it to see if maybe like anime, maybe fantasy is my new shtick. It just can't be Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter because we've already done that. I mean, I'm gonna give the Lord of the Rings show a shot. I know it's a different age, which is cool, but yeah, I have an issue with Harry Potter though.
What's the issue with Harry Potter?
If I watch anything more than like one or two clips, I get this uncontrollable urge to watch them all, and I cannot watch out of order, and I can't not just watch partial. I will binge Harry Potter for 4 days. It usually takes about 4 days.
So Emma and I will just watch the Goblet of Fire. That's our favorite one.
Can't do it. I can't.
And so we definitely don't mind. And so as far as Harry Potter films go, Goblet of Fire for both of us is our favorite one. And I've seen her cry several times when Duggery dies. Not specifically when he dies though, but as soon as the dad gets to the body, she just is just too much for her. And then for me, I think my second favorite one is the Chamber of Secrets. And I think I follow that up with Um, I don't know after that, actually. Those are my two favorite ones. Oh, those are good. Obviously, Dobie's death hits hard. And also, what hit Emma hard too was discovering that Snape wasn't such an asshole after all. So I remember that was a moment to see her reaction when that happened.
Nice.
So yeah,
I
that's
Go ahead.
no, that was really it.
Oh, yeah. I keep hearing how much better Snape is from the books versus the movies. I like Alan Rickman, loved him in Dogma, loved him in Die Hard, and love all the memes that he gave us, especially after that Family Guy bit with the answering machine, which was great. Yeah, man. You know what? I gotta see Shang-Chi here in about 2 hours, but before that, I gotta try to get this show up. So let's go ahead and wrap things up. Manny, everyone should be checking out LRMonline.com every single day as I get it up here. Every single day for all your entertainment news, needs, and opinions. It's right there, LRMonline.com. Interviews, podcasts, our YouTube stuff, all available right here. You can talk to us, email us with questions, comments. You can comment in the articles, all that good stuff. Please do check it out. We have social media information down below on the screen in front of you guys. Follow if you want, but at least follow the website and the podcast network.
I gotta cut you off real quick. I'm sorry.
What happened?
There's a Christopher Lloyd, Jaden Martell, Rick and Morty promo that you gotta check out.
Okay. Yeah. On Twitter?
Yeah, it's live action because I saw Christopher Lloyd trending. And I was like, oh no, what happened to Christopher Lloyd?
I just typed in Chris Lloyd. Let's see here.
You're gonna love it. If you
I'm bringing it up. Let's see here. Christopher.
Yeah, it's a new promo ahead of the season 5 finale of obviously Rick and Morty.
Okay, I got it. 14 seconds in, I am bringing up the screen. Here we go. Share her.
Sorry, Kyle. It just seemed too important not to cut you off.
Yeah, no, I'm down. Let's watch it.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my God. I love that. That's hilarious. Oh, that's great. Hey, I love that. Thank you. All right.
All right, now you can wrap up.
All right, guys.
Obviously, if you're listening, you're not going to be able to just go check it out online. It's fantastic.
Yeah. And there we are at LRM _exclusive on Twitter. Manny and I have handles there down below. Manny, interviews. What's coming up, man?
Coming up, I have actually a couple of really good ones. I got to review a film that I thought was going to be a lot more satirical. That ended up being a little bit more serious. For a film called Karen, and that was actually really good. His name is Coke Daniels. He's a great filmmaker, ex-musician also. I mean, I don't really think you'd be an ex-musician. I think you're just a musician. Sorry, I apologize.
I know what you mean. No longer actively making
films up, but he made a really cool film with Tana Manning called Karen, which is exactly what you think it's about, but it's actually a lot more serious than I think they thought it was going to be. So that was actually done really well. And then also I have an interview with for another film that comes out today called what is it called, dude? My brain is not. It's Friday. Catch the Bullet with Gatlin Griffith. He plays one of the banditos in the film, and talk to him. That's going to be up a little bit later today also. And then as the weekend progresses, this is my birthday weekend. I am going out of town, but I still may have some of the behind the scenes of the What If interviews going up. Also, don't forget today to check out the Billie Eilish special on Disney Plus, which is based on her new album. Happier Than Ever, A Love Letter to Los Angeles, was directed by Robert Rodriguez, which you can check out the interview on our site. It's on there as well. And my interview with Harvey Guillen, who plays Guillermo, on What We Do in the Shadows, which premiered last night. Still haven't seen it because I fell asleep before 10 o'clock.
That's
because I am an old person.
For.
And we got everything, man. We got it all.
Yep, indeed. So yeah, everyone, please do check us out. Like, share, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll be talking about Shang-Chi on Monday. Check out Anime-Versal Reviews Midnight Run, doing chobits with puppets. Yes, check it out. Talk to you guys later. Bye.